rise up and conquer them. Tell them no retreat, no surrender. I shall fight till the end of days. I was born as a Makai warrior, and the Almighty God my blade. Fire burn all Satan carrier. Father loose all shackles and chain. This morning first thing as I wake up, King David told Sam to the brain. Don't let your courage go down, keep it up. And if your heart rip up and stitch it up, don't let your faith them fall, pick it up. When my cup was empty, God fill it up. Don't take the devil contract, rip it up. And if your bad mind people to go meet it up, pass me the Congo drum and let me beat it up. God on my side, me no give it up. No weapon that form against us shall not prevail. And no man that rise against us, that war they shall never win. Because I will conquer, oh I will conquer, yes I will conquer them. Come on, let's conquer, oh I will conquer, rise up and conquer them. Thank you, Father. I want to say thank you, Lord. You're everything, Father. Thank you. Father, you alone shall guide me. No man shall lead my path. In the wind I hear your quiet whispers, and you heal my broken heart. Even some of my friends turn enemies, and they pray for right to feel. And remember you gave us your only begotten son, but we gave him the wound of life. Send down your warriors with the hello. They carry down to the end of days. No matter how the devil tries to trick me, unto you my soul I will give. Father, I know this time is coming. I can see the high tide raise. Without you there is no rudder. Could it be that we decide? No weapon that form against us shall not prevail. And no man that rise against us, that war they shall never win. Because I will conquer, oh I will conquer, yes I will conquer them. Come on, let's conquer, oh I will conquer, rise up and conquer them. I am a man, I am a champion, I am a warrior. So who are you to tell me that I cannot make? Who are you to tell me that I am not the greatest thing that God ever created?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You're listening to Hard Talk Grenada. A very special good morning to those of you joining us on the various radio stations, 97.5 CitysoundFM, 89.5 CRFM, 91.9 and 91.5 RealFM Radio, 92.9 Sister Rob Radio Broadcasting from Hillsborough, Carriacou, and of course, 94.9 We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn, New York. A very special good morning to those of you who are joining us on the various live streams, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. A very special good morning to you. It is a pleasure being here with you on this beautiful Friday morning. And with me in studio this morning, I have my co-host, Mr. Roland Bola. Good morning, Mr. Bola.
And good morning to you, Miss Duncan. Good morning to all our wonderful listeners out there in Radio Land, or those who are receiving the message or hearing us or linking us, as they would say, on the website, the various platforms. I really do hope that all of you are having a wonderful Friday morning. It is bright. It's a beautiful morning. The sun is out. It wasn't that very hot this morning like some other mornings, but to me, it's the settings for a really wonderful Friday. It's the weekend. It's the month end. And I know how some people are itching just to go have a beer out to hang out to lime. Those things we want to do, those things some people do, but I do urge you to follow the protocols, be very careful. We're still in a time that we need to be watchful and can't let our guards down. We can't just allow the gains we have made thus far to fall apart. So a very special morning to everyone, whether you are in Grenada, mainland, Carriacou, or Petit Martinique, any of the Eastern Caribbean islands where you're picking us live. All our people in the diaspora, pleasant Friday morning to you. of course, I want to make sure that I mention the name of Mr. Mills, Curtis Mills. He's always, thinking about us, listening to us, and his good friend. He said he always like to shout out, Skylark's mother. He said that's his mother too. So I want to shout out. I want to shout out all my other friends out there in Carriacou, Mr. Fleury and others. The movers and shakers, as we sometimes refer to them, out there in Carriacou land. I know it's a warm time. Most of you, like me, really praying and hoping and wish that you could have some rain. On the mainland, I want to shout out the Lewis brothers out there in La Poterie, Stephen and the others. Who always listen, ardent listeners, Aaron Pierre, a farmer out there in Pearls, along with all of the other people in Pearls that, send us a little message that make us know they're alive and they're around. Whether you're in St. Patrick's, in St. John's, we do have a good following from St. Mark's, St. David's, Miss Felix and others out there at the office, and, all the people who do, and I like to shout out my friends in Carriacou. Quite a few of them I have. I don't want to call them by name, but they know who they are. All my good people there in Carriacou. But I must shout out in particular DC Ranks. He drives one of those big tractors, boy, and he makes a lot of movements. See that loads of cane carrying up, and loads of what we call bagasse, the remains of the cane coming back down. Whatever you do, Miss Carmi out there in the market and all the other market vendors, you're trying to make sure that today the householders will get their supplies from you fresh and nutritious, coming from our farmers all over the country. We say, grow local, eat local, stay local. It has good meaning for us. But whatever you're doing, whether you're at home preparing, cleaning, washing, or cooking lunch for the children, for the husband, those who have the young ones doing common entrance, well, it's not common entrance anymore.
CPEA.
It's CPEA, CPEA. Yesterday was the first day they do the completion. Today, I wish best of luck to all of them. Hope that we can have 100% pass rate.
And I've been hearing good things from some of the students that I've spoken to. They say the maths was easy. When you hear children say that, you're happy,
The maths was easy.
The maths was easy.
I hope they weren't tricked.
They say the maths was easy.
I hope they wasn't tricked, or maybe they were so well prepared.
Well prepared. I think it's that. I think it's that.
It appeared to them to be easy. When you're well prepared, everything is easy.
Everything is easy.
Yeah, it's when you are unprepared, the easiest things seem to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to them, and of course, kudos to the teachers and the parents. While it had been a kind of how should I say? I don't want to use the word rough, but rugged probably is a better word. School term, probably a school year, we can say, since last year into this year with COVID, with some little industrial actions and so. But by and large, we do have many of our teachers that go above and beyond. There are some that do very distinguished a very distinguished job. They good work. They can be selected from among the peers. They are outstanding. They shine. They stand tall. I say we salute you. But teachers in general, the entire teaching profession, I want to salute. But I want to single out those stalwarts among them. Those who always stand up, doesn't matter what. And they put their back to the wall and they produce for the benefit of our nation's children.
Absolutely, and I wanna make mention of two very impressionable teachers.
But I don't want you to call names,
I'll call them only by their last name, so nobody will know what we're talking about.
Well, why call it if you don't want us to know? It's just that I don't want to start calling names.
No, but they deserve the recognition.
But there are many others who deserve, in your opinion.
In my opinion, that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, two very distinguished teachers who go above and beyond. One being the teacher that I had in grade 6, She was my grade 6 teacher. She was my daughter's grade 6 teacher. She was my son's grade 6 teacher.
Oh, she gets stuck in grade 6? You get promotion?
Because she's so good at what she does. And I mean, she takes time and pays very good attention to each and every single student that she has. And I must say that she is one to mention in terms of the work that she does. In my opinion, she is a stalwart. She is a wonderful educator. And then there's another teacher that lives in Black Bay. Most people will know who I'm speaking about. She was the first supervisor that I had when I got into teaching. And she really fashioned and molded me into the educator that I became. And I must say, for these two educators are one of the main reasons why I like education so much, why I like teaching so much, you know, why I really didn't think I could see myself in future in anywhere but in that, being an educator. So to Miss Alexis and Mrs. Batiste, you know who you are, I say thank you. You know, sometimes you just have to shout at the influential people in your life, the people who molded you into the individual that you have become. And you know, that really is what the job of a teacher is meant to be, to mold an individual into the person that they will become in future, or at least to set some sort of foundation, you know. So thank you to the both of you. Y'all know who you are, and most people would know them too.
But if they don't know who they are, they could not have created an impression on you.
That's true.
So I think it goes without saying. They know who they are. They know what they stand for. They know the purpose in life.
They do. And what they want for their students.
For themselves and their students. So their lives are purposefully driven.
Yeah.
And we do come across from time to time, not only in the teaching profession. Yeah. But there are several other professions, several other areas in life that you come across people that from the moment they appear into a room, or you appear into a room where they are, there's a difference in feeling, you know.
Yeah.
The whole movement and everything about them is so contagious. The energy,
their aura.
The energy is so strong and so contagious that you can't help feeling good just by being in their presence, just by listening to them speak, just by looking at the smile they have on. Come on, people, you can make somebody's day, really pleasant just by doing one little thing.
Absolutely.
Smiling to them, saying a kind word, a good morning, wishing them the best for the day. I mean, we really have a superpower within us. Every one of us do have it. Some people are able to actualize it better and easier than others. But if we try hard enough, we can all touch somebody's life. You know, there's that song, reach out and touch somebody's. Well, I wish they would touch somebody's life. And let's make this world a better place. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yes,
guys, it is Friday, and what we're going to do this morning is we're going to open the lines very, very early so that we can talk. Let's converse. Let's talk about the week. Let's talk about what's going on. There are a lot of things happening. A lot of things to discuss. So we're going to open the lines. We want to hear from you. Most of the week you're hearing us talking. We're always talking. So we want to hear from you this morning. We want to hear.
Which you don't really mind, Ms. Duncan, because you're.
No, I like to talk. I mean, there's no shame in that. I'm not going to dispute that at all. I love talking. That is why teaching is such a
Oh, no. There's a new concept in teaching now, all right, which you must learn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know it's one that you wouldn't like too much. No talk.
Well, I don't even want to talk about that upsetting.
Well, it's no talk, so why should you talk about it?
That is so upsetting. I don't even want to mention it.
You are not supposed to talk.
No talking.
So that's a new concept. Children must learn by signs and signals.
I will reserve my views on that for the moment. I don't want anybody to say on this beautiful Friday morning that I'm coming down on teachers. So let me just not engage myself in that conversation.
Them teachers better be careful, because if you come down on them,
I will just reserve my thoughts on that. But we are talking about, we have so much things happening. I know that the unions did go with a counter offer to the government. They went with a new proposal, which is something that really you want to in negotiation. I mean, that is what negotiation is about. It's about coming around the table, and you propose, I propose, we propose together, and we all come up with a solution. But you can't propose, government propose, you say no. You propose, government say no, and we just stay there with nobody proposing nothing else, and we just see that as a fight.
That's when the negotiations come to a stalemate.
So why we wait until it reached a stalemate before we come with another proposal, Mr. Polo?
Well, I can't explain in this particular situation why. There may be pretty good reasons, which I don't know about, and I'm not prepared on air.
What should have happened? What should have happened, in my opinion, is that instead of wasting time engaging in industrial action, they should have been doing what they did in the very last moment when a deadlock was reached.
Let us commend. I
mean, I commend them for
those
being
involved for reaching to the point where they have.
But after so much damage has already been done to our children.
Let us not assume that every single individual in this country, is academically astute as you are.
But we would hope that the leaders of these, because it's really the leaders that is the problem.
Of course, we would hope for that.
Because the membership can only do what the leader requests, right?
Nope.
Or they can choose not to do it.
Definitely so.
But it is the leader that makes these requests. So we have to bring it to the point where the leaders have been making bad decisions on behalf of their membership. So instead of encouraging their membership to do the things that they made them do during the period of industrial action to the point where negotiations reached a deadlock, what they should have done is sit down, have adult conversations, come together with the economists, which is what they should have been doing in the first place, after looking at government's book, which their same membership put in together for them. What they should have done is come together and meet at an earlier time to come up with these proposals, in my opinion.
Let me ask you a question.
Tell me.
Quite candidly. Have you ever played draft before? The game of draft? You never?
I haven't.
Have you ever seen people playing draft?
Yes.
And been close enough to the board to actually look at the moves that the players have been making?
Yes.
Now, there's a saying that when you are outside of the game, you can see more moves than when you're actually in the game. Yeah? Right, for whatever that is worth. Now, I am not disputing that there isn't good sense in what you have said. Yes?
But
the point I'm making is sometimes there are things that may have to run their course before those involved recognize that they are going totally down the wrong lane. There are some drivers that immediately they make a wrong turn on the road, they recognize it, and they can change and get back on the right course. There are others that may have to run a mile down the wrong course before they actually recognize
that they're going
the wrong way. Because some of us are much sharper, much more focused, and do more critical thinking than others. Some people are more academically astute. They are luminaries in their own right in the fields that they are in. So too are leaders. There are some leaders that are so quick to see things, who can visualize. They are visionaries. Long before something occurs, they can tell you that is what would happen if we take whatever position. There are others who are entrusted with leadership position, and they actually have to witness certain things happening before they can actualize what it is that will come. So people, we are all at different levels. And it is not that I agree with all of the industrial actions and what have you, but it may well be that is what opened up their senses to recognize that what they were doing was senseless. So they turn around to a sensible thing now. As I've said with the drivers, some may have to go a mile down the wrong lane to recognize, hey, I'm driving on the wrong side of the road.
Right.
Others, immediately they cross the line, they recognize, and they get back in line.
Someone on the live is saying, I thought the membership informs the leader as to the course of action.
The leader, it is always good to have what is referred to as a kind of consultative leadership approach, where you give members an opportunity
to agree or disagree.
Or to express what they think should be or shouldn't be. But there are occasions when, as a leader, you must lead.
Right.
You must
take a decision
and do it in such a manner and express it to your membership in such a way that they will immediately agree and accept what you say.
Right.
And I'm not saying you must do it all the time, because when you do it all the time and you force it onto them, then you are referred to as a dictator. And you don't want to be a dictator. You want to be a leader in the true sense of leadership. Right. So consultative leadership is important, but there comes a time, because the reason why you were voted or placed in the position as leader, it is because people have trust and confidence in your judgment and your ability to see, to visualize, and to make decisions that are going to be beneficial to whichever organization. So be it a political party, a trade union, a church, a community group, oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes, the people that emerge as leaders of those organization, groups, or settings is the people, or are the people whom others believe have that ability to take the lead so that they can follow. So I agree with the person who posted that sometimes you need to get the membership to decide what direction we go. Right. But it is not all the time you have to do it. Because even getting the membership to make a decision, that could be a daunting task at times, depending on the abilities of your members, depending on what the issue is. Sometimes you get no agreement at all. And you come to, as we say, a stalemate, where you spend days and weeks and months trying to finalize a decision so you can continue your process forward. But you are locked in where everybody or more or several people have different views as to the way forward on an issue. So it is not always the easiest thing to do, but I think it is important from time to time that you do.
Someone is asking, what is the latest with the negotiations? I believe from the last information we received, they would have been before the Labour Minister, but after going before the Labour Minister, the unions came back with another proposal for the government, a revised proposal with, I assume, different... what's the word I'm looking for?
Different terms and conditions, probably. Yes. We don't know. We have never seen the agreement. But it is our understanding that there's a new proposal. Well, not an agreement. Sorry, I made a mistake.
New proposal.
It's a proposal.
Because the lead negotiator for the government indicated in a news sitting that he would take this new proposal before cabinet so that they can review it. Well,
because he's just negotiating on with the team on behalf of. So once they receive that proposal, I guess the negotiating team would study it first and foremost, would look at it.
And he did say that it does seem like something that is feasible.
And then they will advise cabinet based on what the proposal is asking for and the way forward. Cabinet, in turn, I believe, would have to have consultation, or the Minister of Finance with his financial team to make a determination. And we are just talking about the hoops that they have to go through. We are in no way saying what the final arrangement will be, because we don't know. We have to wait on government to come forward to say that. But the Minister of Finance then will have to, based on what the proposal is asking for, get his finance team to say, based on where they are, based on the expectations for the collection of revenue down the line, whether or not they can accept in its present form the new proposal that is sent by the unions, or do they now have to go back and counter-propose again, or ask for changes, So there are a number of things that can happen. One, if the conditions are conducive enough for acceptance, they can accept as is the proposals that the unions give. They can, if that situation doesn't exist, they can go back and say to the union, while we accept these 5 points from your new proposal, point 6 and 7, we are not able to adhere to at this time, or may never be able to adhere to it. So if you can adjust your proposal, we then can see an agreement happening, or the government can look at what the unions has proposed and say, well, look, it's a little too difficult for us to adhere to all of that, but we can counter-propose to your proposal again, X, Y, Z.
And that's what negotiation really is about.
Which might be a little bit more palatable for us at this time as a government. So anything can come out of it. My hope, though, is that they will arrive at some level of resolution where there's some kind of agreement that will make everybody at least comfortable. Yeah. Maybe not happy, but comfortable for the time being until more can be done.
More can be done.
Yes.
And you know, it's important for us to also note and continue to reiterate, because the argument for people who don't listen but just jump into a conversation is that, oh, give them, they deserve it. And nobody is saying that they don't deserve it. Nobody is saying that they're not going to get it. And you see, and I think that is the biggest talking point. That is the biggest point of conversation in all of this. Is it a situation where they will never receive it, where they are being told that you will not get this that was signed for? That is not what is being said. What is being said is that we don't see that we are able to meet that commitment right now. However, once we get to a position where we can, we will, you know? And I mean, in our daily lives, we go through this. You know, you meet someone, you promise them something, and some circumstance has changed and you are unable to meet that requirement. And you say to them, listen, I am unable to meet this requirement. We do it with our lending institutions as well. That's what you call refinancing. When you go back and you say to them, listen, I'm in a current situation where I am incapable of paying 14%. Can we work it out so I can pay X amount or Y amount or Z amount based on my current salary now? Maybe I'm making $4,000 before, so I'm able to pay $1,000 a month. And now I'm making $1,000 less, so I can't pay $1,000 a month. I can pay $500, you know. Or I'm asking you for a moratorium where I can get a couple months off until I recover myself. These are the things that happen in our daily lives. So I would have hoped that a little bit of understanding could have been sought from this entire situation. However, that is in the past. We are currently at a stage where renegotiations are on the horizon, where we can look forward to there being another sit down and a more adult conversation. And I keep saying adult conversation because sometimes I look at the behaviors of some of our leaders in societies and leaders in different institutions and the manner in which they behave, and I wonder if they act only solely on emotion and don't sit and, you know, yesterday, Mr. Bola, we talked a lot about reasoning and having that capability to sit down and analyze something to come to the best resolution. And it's something that I teach to my students. It's something that I teach to the children that I tutor. And it's something that, more importantly, I teach to my kids, because I teach them that not just for academics, but for daily living. As we always say, education is every teachable moment you experience, that you are exposed to. So not only what you learn in the classroom or what you research from a book is education. It is every experience, every moment that you learn from in life. That is what education is all about, you know? So as big as Mr. Bola is and as small as I am, because I like to say I'm young. So as small as I am and as
you
big
like
as...
to say you're young, or are you young?
I am young. And I don't want to say you're old. You're older than me. You're more experienced. Let me say you're more experienced. In all of your years of experience, you have not stopped learning. You continue to learn every day, because as you are living, you are experiencing. So you're learning every day. So your education continues, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I want you to jump on my back, because I know as soon as I start to talk
all in Grenville. From Tong to get to St. David's.
I know you. I know.
You could have just go across there and you end up in St. David's. Jesus Christ. You talk about my age and how I look and my beard gray, and everybody know that. They see me on television, they see me in the street, they know I'm gray.
Me say you're bad.
They know I'm an aged man. I'm not an old man,
You're
but I'm aged man.
But you're older than me.
No, I'm more aged than you. Doesn't mean that I'm older than you.
Aged like wine.
Some people can be less years than others, but older than them.
Hey, how is that possible, Mr. Buller?
Well, all this is an expression of your looks, your physical
Is that so?
appearance, yes. Old or young is not entirely
Based on your age.
judged or based on age. It has more to do, I believe, with your physical appearance. Sometimes you say, you see people and say, you see how old she look or how old he look. Doesn't mean that they are aged.
But what I wanted to say is that yesterday I sat and I, went through with my son the happenings of the day, how the exam went, had him explain to me some of the things that he did, in order to understand if he really got what he was doing. So he was there and he was explaining it to me. And then he said to me, Mommy, I was doing the math, but the math was so easy. So I got an opportunity to work all the questions over a second time. But he's not the only child that told me that. He got an opportunity to work it the second time. So he was speaking to me about a particular question that they were asking. And he said to me, Mommy, you always talk to us about reasoning. He said, I get a question, and I had to look at the question a couple times. Because he said, when I look at it the first time, it seems like what they was asking was so easy. But when I looked at it the second time, I realized that it seemed like a trick question. So if I didn't analyze it properly, I hear the word analyze and I start to smile because I say, yes, I'm feeling good as a parent. Yeah, if I didn't analyze the question, then I wouldn't realize that I had to dig deeper into the question to understand what they're asking me. And he's explaining to me what the question was and what he did. And I'm like, yes, proud parent. Proud parent. But I was also happy because his teacher as well institutes that into them. I remember I was going to a PTA meeting and she is saying to us, we need to teach our children to reason more and these kinds of things. And it just goes to show, even in our adult stage, because if we don't learn to reason at a young age, we ain't going to be able to reason older. We will not be able to reason when we get older, and we will find ourselves in situations that we are in now, where we just take something at face value and feel like that is what it is. We don't do any inspection, we don't read, we don't analyze, we don't look at it, and then afterwards we just go and lava we mouth and realize what we're saying is wrong thing.
Analytical thinking.
Thinking.
Analyzing. Well, some parents are more versed, some teachers are more versed in understanding that, but I hope it will be a learning experience for everyone.
Yes, yes.
Teachers, students, parents, and maybe the time has come. Probably past us, but we can still utilize.
The time is never past.
No, for the start. For the start. That's what I was going to say. But we can always utilize every moment in life as a teachable moment. And use the experiences we have gleaned from it to help promote and to encourage others to do likewise.
And it's never too late to learn. I think maybe we need to start engaging in adult classes, adult literacy classes. Whether we utilize
just literacy you want.
Well, literacy really encompasses a lot.
Okay.
It's not just literacy. Like I say, it's not just reading and writing. And
arithmetic.
And it's about reading and understanding, being able to read and analyze and
so you need reasoning classes,
comprehend and so on.
Reasoning classes where you teach people to be analytical. I think some of that, or most of the difficulties that we end up with people reading stuff on the platforms and acting based on what they read is because most times they don't allow reasoning to happen. They don't really give themselves a chance to
But
analyze
but we have to first be able to identify and define what reading is, because most people believe that once you can identify words on a page, you can read, and that is incorrect. That is very incorrect. You could call words, you could identify words, but that does not mean you can read. So we have to first identify what reading is. Because I go on a page there and I see good morning and everyone doesn't mean I understand what good morning everyone means. I see the words, I could identify the words, I've heard them before and I've seen them before on the paper, but does that mean that I can read?
If you don't understand what is it,
if you can't comprehend,
then that means you're not reading.
Well, we have our first call on the line for the morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
We're good. Well, I'm good. I'm not sure about Mr. Bola.
Don't I look good?
Okay.
But looking good and being good is very different.
Don't I sound good?
Yeah. So oftentimes,
Go ahead.
oftentimes when a question is posed at me, how are you? I said, I think I'm okay. Tell me you think you're okay.
You're not too sure.
The truth is that I could be feeling okay, but just now you might find me in a different position.
Well, at the time when the question was asked, you was okay. Moments after, then you weren't okay.
Well,
so you're not wrong. You're okay at that
good.
moment.
I could be lying because when I think I'm good, I'm not really good.
Okay.
In any case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the conversation was about the increase for the civil servants, especially teachers, and I gave somebody a list and they brought up that question. What do you think about that? Because this was part of the discussion on one of the radio stations at that point in time. And I went on to say, well, I'll cut it short. I said, but no, they were telling me that it's easy, the government could have just pay 4%, it's just 4%, the government could just pay that. I said, okay, yes, that's true. I said, but did you know that the government paid 4% last year? Government paid 4% last year. I said, yes, government paid the teachers 4% last year. Did you know that the government paid the teachers 4% year before too? No, I didn't know government paid teachers 4% year before. I said, yes, man. Government paid 4% 2019, 4% 2020.
Yes.
But because of the COVID, they couldn't pay, and it's only for this year they haven't paid yet. So the government asking to hold on a while because, And I said, look, I understand it from this standpoint that there are a lot of us who credit from those van that pass on Sundays generally.
Right.
We credit household goods.
Yep.
And when we know the van is coming back next week, mommy not home.
But they're lucky. Some children will say, well, mommy said to say she don't there.
Yes. So the point is that I understand it from this point that I couldn't see where the money was coming into the coffers, like in terms of foreign exchange, by which we run the country. Yeah? I said, I know you have some foreign exchange coming in through the spices, the nutmegs, and so forth, but I haven't seen much elsewhere because the hotels closed down, cruise ship not coming in, and what and what. So we sell some, we grow a lot of vegetables, but we just consume that locally. Not much go into the treasury from those things to pay workers and so forth.
Right.
So I find it very difficult to understand where the government is getting those monies we're paying civil servants every month. And I look at St. Vincent when the Prime Minister says, look, I can't pay all you, no money for all you. And stuff like that. But I think we're very fortunate in this instance here where we were able to organize ourselves properly while money was coming in.
Yeah.
That we could have put aside something so that today people could still get a salary and get it on time.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that's going on that people don't understand fully because for that person who asked me about,
the 4%, yeah.
I said the civil servants have gotten the increase 2019, they got an increase in 2020, but it's only this year they haven't gotten it as yet. I said, and the government promised they're going to get it, but they just haven't got the money as yet to do it. And I say, it's not just pay them next month and that's it, you know. I say it's not paying them month, you know.
No.
It's paying them for the rest of
Their working life.
their working life.
Yes, once you
I
put
say
it on, he
they
has
have
to stay
pay
on.
that money for the rest of their working life. When will the economy build sufficiently that every one of them going to get it, and at least for me to get a little thing out of it too, and for my mother to get a little thing out of it too, and the stranger down the road, or the lady down the road to get a little bit out of it too. Where is that money coming from? I didn't understand. It was, that's what she said. And I think from your standpoint, maybe you would have done, but I think you need to educate us a little bit more along that line.
Well, we have done, thank you, but we will again repeat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one other thing here. I heard a lady, two little things. I don't make it a big one, eh?
No, go ahead.
I heard Mr. Sheldon Scott talking on radio this station, this morning on this, not this station, but this frequency I'm listening from. And he mentioned something that was said by some people from an organization. And he knows definitely is the NDC that is doing it. And he's afraid to say NDC. And I wonder why we do that. I wonder why we do that. It is not slander or anything else, but stating the point and making it clear for those of us to understand where it's coming from.
Okay.
You know? So why are we afraid to say NDC say that, when they are able to brag and say, Kit Mitchell say that? Whereas Kit Mitchell not even close by.
I don't know.
When this was said. And I wonder why we do that. You know? There's something else. I heard my dear sister, Kami, oftentimes call the radio station. And she make mention about they passing every time and calling the Prime Minister name, saying this and that about the Prime Minister, and she calling out the names that they calling the Prime Minister. Kami, I know you're listening. Do better than that. You don't have to. You don't have to repeat what they're saying. You don't have to repeat what they're saying, Kami. It is derogatory. So why you spreading it for them? I didn't hear them say that. They come to your store and said you broadcasting all over the world now.
And
you don't have to do that.
It, yes.
Please, I prefer if you don't. I don't want to hear it. This is nonsense that they say. So don't spread it for them. Don't even mention the name.
Right.
Don't even mention the name. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. We appreciate your contribution. I think the last point he made, it's a sensible one, but again, it comes to our people through exposure, experience, political education, and so to understand that you don't repeat what your enemies or your haters say.
To share it with your friends.
You help share it and spread it.
Yeah. We have another call on the line. Good morning, Miss Jacob.
Lord Jesus.
How are you, Miss Jacob?
Okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I wasn't in the morning.
What was wrong with you?
Well, you see, I just didn't feeling good. Good morning to my cutie. Good morning to my handsome Brother Bola. I hear a lady the other day say, Miss Jacob calling you handsome, but tell a lady don't touch you.
Miss Jacob, the lady sent threat for you, you know. She said you better be careful.
I had to send threat for her too, because I know you before she assured.
Yeah. She said, I find Miss Jacob calling you sweetheart and handsome too regular, you know. She better watch herself with me. I say no love lost, man. The love sharing for everyone.
Everyone, Toot Moon Bagay.
Yes, man.
Well, I come in somewhere, something for way down the road, and I never all you hear that. You see, when Uncle Gary come in Grenada, in those days, all those that are working in bank, working all the way, is white people.
Yes, only the
when
colored.
Uncle Gary come, he said, no, this thing have to stop. And a lot of people didn't like him here, especially the opposition side. Oh my God, they didn't like Uncle D. But he stop it. He stop it. It's good for both sides, top and bottom. And those white people can't do without us. They cannot.
Okay.
No, they can't do without us at all. Because they can't work for themselves. Everything is a black person that has to do everything. Thingy them. White people working in the bank and a black person can't work there. Why? You mad? Uncle Gary, stop it. He stop this racial thing that is going on. Stop it, he stop it.
Okay.
And then again, the two prime minister are go to that pass. It's Uncle Gary, and I know a lot of people go down on me and stone put dust over my house. As I tell people, where see I living under the road. And then my house are guttering right wrong. So no stone can go down on the road, on the ground. It's in the guttering they're going down in.
Okay.
But as I'm telling them, the two prime minister that was mine before time, it was Uncle Gary.
Yes.
And they used to call me Miss Bishop. I love Bishop.
Okay.
But Bishop didn't have good people behind him.
Okay.
Because I learned a little piece of a lesson. I take a little piece of lesson from Bishop. Because why? I couldn't go so much in school. I used to have fits.
Okay.
And with the fits now, is by the month and the moon. So I leave school in standard 4.
Okay.
But a little bit of education I learned from Bishop. Doc told me that the other day.
Yes.
Doc said, Teresa, your story. I say, yes, Doc, a little piece of thing I get from Bishop. But nobody that had a big set of education cannot pick back me common sense. Because some of them have education, they say, but they don't have the common sense.
Okay.
Understand? When you hear, as you see I done there, you go see a lot, you go hear a lot of people come down on me, but I don't care. And my prime minister now, nobody can beat that. No way.
Yeah, we know you're bad for your prime minister.
With this, you know why? When Uncle Gary say the person to rule Grenada after he bringing that, and if you see the little cute thing come, and he dress him up just as how he dress. And the little thing, they looking so cute and nice, but
So
not knowing it's somebody that me and he have brought up together.
Yes.
Not knowing was he. When he finished the meeting, he said, who for his side, stay on his side.
Okay.
And who for Keith's side, go on Keith's side. He said, yes, Miss Jacob. You gone to Keith? I said, no, you're your mother. I like me right blame and I love the green one too.
So only
with
like
the red
dozen.
one now, you get more juice.
Yes.
But with the green one now, we have to leave the green one like it get ripe.
Yes.
You understand?
And get the flavor. The green one have more rind in it.
That's right.
Yes. Well, Miss Jacob, we didn't hear you for the week, but we hear you today. You feel
Yeah, a
good.
lot of people go glad and a lot of people will call me when they don't hear me.
Your voice sounds strong, so it
Yes.
means whatever little...
Yesterday I didn't have no voice at all.
Well, it's
I
coming
didn't
back.
even say eat Monday, I don't eat Tuesday, I don't eat Wednesday.
But
I
it's
don't
coming
eat
back.
Thursday.
It's
Only
coming.
water I drink.
Yeah,
But
it's
you're feeling
coming
better
back.
today, so that's
Yes,
great.
I'm feeling a lot better today.
Well, let's thank God for that,
With
and let's
my
hope
two
that...
niece,
Yes,
the two niece and the Tanty Joyce,
yes.
them that take care of me.
Very well, very well. God be with them all the time.
All
And
the
God be
time.
with you too. Continue
Yes.
to guide, protect, and keep you safe and sound. So,
That's right.
yes, so we're going through today. We're
Yes.
expecting some more calls because we
Right,
just have open
right.
talk today. We're talking everything.
Okay.
Everything. So We
So,
glad
Brother
to
Bola,
hear you.
take care of my girl on the side there for me.
I will take care of her, but I want
Yes.
you to take care of yourself and have a fantastic weekend.
And yes, I will.
God's willing, we shall hear
God
each
be with
other
you and bless
on,
the two of
on
you.
Monday, please God. Take good care now, Miss Jake.
Yes.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
and enjoy the day.
bye-bye.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the Reza Jacob out of St. David side down there. Boy, I tell you, she a history.
She does. We have another call on the line. Good morning, Mr. Mills.
How you know it's me?
Every time so you ask that.
Yeah, Miss Jacob is husband and wife. I just call one me and the other.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
For me to stop or just tell me why. We have a call idea.
How are you?
I'm good.
And how is Carriacou?
Very sunny.
And how is the lady you like to shout out every day?
Miss Jacob. No, Miss Jacob now. Miss Duncan, you alright?
I'm always all right.
Okay, you jealous? I shout you up now.
Who make
Not
a boy
that
jealous?
lady. Not that lady. You're a lady in Carriacou with us.
Silent Stafford, good morning. Mr. Bola just jealous.
If he does jealous.
Oh God, even forget who you have to say hello to, boy. I pity you. I pity you.
So you good?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Something happened to me yesterday.
No, I don't know what
No,
happened.
man,
to
a lady in white come up the step. She said, Mr. Mills, good day. I said, good day. She said, bring the thing for you. I said, well, thank you. But without any vaccine yet.
you. Yeah.
She said, bring your vaccine. You know.
Yes. Well, look at that.
Eh.
Say, she said, raise up your short hand on that side. I raise up my hand. And the lady gave me my vaccine. And I was so glad. I said, well, I'll get away from one.
That's good. That is
That's so
very
glad
good.
So she give you your card to tell you when you're supposed to get the next one, right?
Eh?
She give you your little card to tell you when you're supposed to get the next one?
When she give me the card, I asked her if that is when to come by. She said, you could come anytime I want. You know, and I took her card for that.
You're easy with yourself. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I get my vaccine.
You get your first shot
My first shot.
Yes.
She said she had to come back.
to give you a second shot.
Yes.
And 2 weeks after you get the second shot, you could say then you're fully vaccinated.
So I have to get the next one after the last one?
No.
No. You're getting 2. But even though you get it, they say you have to wait 2 weeks, right, to fully take all effect in your body.
Oh, so the one I get yesterday, I have to get one.
You have to get another one again in about 6 weeks' time, 4 to 6 weeks' time.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the most thing I'll tell you, the way he put me to sleep.
Yes.
Yes.
About 4 o'clock when I was 10 o'clock in the night I wake up.
You wake up, you well sleep,
From
boy.
4 o'clock I well sleep by.
Yeah.
I say, well, I could ice up the house and go with me and I know.
Some people sleep, some people just have a little headache, some people get a little fever.
Yeah.
You know?
I find when she give me a little dizzy taking me, it
Yeah.
was nothing like pain and nothing.
No, no
Just
pain,
like I
no.
want to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said that too. I keep me say that you get like a thing if you want to sleep. Well, you do just lie down.
Well, why not?
Yeah, just lie down.
Yeah.
When you do something, check me at 10 o'clock.
Well, that was good for you. Get a good
I
sleep.
mean, I feel no pain at all. As God, I feel no pain. Everything is okay.
That's
Okay.
good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yes. So, Miss Duncan, when you going for yours?
Hey, Mr. Mills, I fully
Again?
vaccinated about a month now.
Oh my, you're joking that.
No.
Mm.
That wasn't even a question.
Oh, so you're fully vaccinated.
She had to follow me. Anything I do, she had to do it too.
Hey.
Now you mustn't say that, Mr. Bola.
Thank you. Tell him again.
Yeah, anything you do, you share to do it too.
Tell him
Yes.
again.
I go tell you come up by me now.
and
And
get
she
to
will come up too.
Yes, I want come up. I really want you. I just want you bring her.
We both had our shot. She got her second one before me. We got the first one the same time,
So,
but she went about a week or two before me.
and
to
when
get
you
her.
coming up to Carriacou?
Just Saturday, your minister asking me the same thing. She need me to come up.
Stuart?
Yes. We
Oh.
were in an activity on Saturday.
She
See,
was by me 2 weeks back.
Yeah.
She's a nice lady, eh?
yes, very nicely. She said, Mr. Bola, when you're coming up, time for you to come back up in Carriacou.
She's imprint.
Yeah, I said, don't worry, my dear. I know my time is overdue, but I will. I will come. Yeah. I will
Mr.
just,
Mills telling me he cannot come to Carriacou without me, eh?
yeah. What happened? You use my foot?
No.
I'm your
can't go.
GPS.
Listen me.
Can't go nowhere without your location.
Well, I don't need GPS. The plane or the boat know the GPS to where Carriacou is. I don't need you to show me the place.
But you know, Mr. Bola, you could walk for yourself in the road. Maybe she had to hold you and walk for
When he
yourself.
looks so,
and walk, yes.
hey,
What kind of bunks you for, you know, bunks?
she might think I'm blind. And even blind people that work for themselves, they're the king. What's wrong with this lady?
But you know, I feel I know why.
I want to come and see you, Mr. Mills.
No, she want people to see you walking with Mr. Bola.
Boy, that's why me and you could always be friends. You just know things.
Yes.
You just read. You don't only read on the line, you just also read between the line.
Yeah.
You're right.
Have it covered.
Yeah, you have it well covered. So,
No bother with him, eh?
tell us, you plant anything yet? A little rain, yeah. I know Carriacou like to plant the corn and peas, and so we got a little rain the last time. I planted a little bit of corn and peas already. The corn bust up.
I know Tago here, Mr. Fordo here, He's one song, she sung the singer song, planting pole.
Pole, yeah, he say he's poly planting, but I don't want you plant pole.
Again, the next one come with a bus. He say planting pole or cutting pole. He bungs down the pole. He rammed was straight in the pole.
In the pole? But I asking you about corn and peas, not pole.
Oh, corn and peas, if I ain't plant that yet. Mr. Bola, waiting for a piece of land, your spring coming up.
Okay. I will send a piece for you.
Once you do that, do ask me about planting it. Once you send a piece of land, I go plant it.
You will plant. All right, my
So why
bro.
does it green can? I go to ask you for dry can.
No, I love a little roast corn. I don't eat much.
Oh, it doesn't eat roast can.
Oh, it does. I eat roast corn. I don't even like it boiled too much. A lot of people go for boiled corn, not too much from it. Yeah. I eat a little bit of cuckoo. Yeah, well, you would know about that. You dry it and grind it and so on.
Yeah. We have how they call it meal, you know. How they call it.
Them meal and them where you had to turn with both hands?
Yeah,
them,
with the two hands on both sides and the one hand you turn it.
and you had to tighten it up with the rope.
Right, a piece of string.
It's still working good?
Yeah.
Okay.
My uncle have it. Mr. Uncle Babot, you here talking you, eh?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I am.
I remember them early days as a young boy going and grind corn and that and them, and you get first
so
pass.
You use and grind can and shoot.
Yeah, you get first pass, then you tighten up with the string, and you get second pass, and then you get third pass. After you get third pass, then you ready?
Yes, you ready to go in the pass, eh?
Yeah, I remember those days. Young
and
people.
you have to make cookoo in the morning, that good thing, eh?
Yeah, young people.
Make porridge with it and then you cut it up and throw milk in it and make cookoo tea.
Young people and us don't understand that. They don't know nothing about that. They never grind corn on meal.
No mess down, can you tell him that? Though?
Can be me, not
No, I
me.
just say young people and us. I didn't call
Well, I
nobody.
know why
name.
you say that because you older than me.
Thank you.
Hey, but how you like confusion, so Curtis? I don't call nobody name.
Because I know she says she want to read as if we donkey go also reach donkey go reach there one day.
Yes.
Because she want to meet your age.
Well, she could meet me. I could stop and wait for her. Halfway.
You want to wait?
Yes. I want to wait for her.
Well, you go to if you want to wait, you can wait.
Okay.
Anyway, Mr. Mills, we want to leave the line clear for other people who want to call. You know, we're always happy to hear from you.
So we go again when?
When Mr. Bola coming up?
No, when we will talk again.
A Monday, bright and early.
You're a nice
Monday,
lady,
please God.
Please, God, bright and early.
I say you're a nice lady.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mr. Bola, you're a nice gentleman too.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. I know that, and we are friends. So.
All right. No, and you all have a nice program, eh?
Yes.
Thank you.
Today we just have an open line. So we wish you the best. Have a blessed and wonderful weekend, Mr. Mills.
Yeah. Mr.
Right?
Stafford, good morning once again. You take care. Not about the party.
Yeah. Mr. Mills, go right ahead and be good. Take care of yourself. We'll talk again.
You too, my brother.
All right. Yeah, Curtis Mills.
So, guys, the lines are open. The number to call is 440-7377 if you're calling locally. If you're in the diaspora and you want to give us a call, it's 347-329-3101. You can also give us a call or send us a WhatsApp at 440-7377. Or you can continue sending your messages on the live video. It's Open Line Friday, and we love hearing from you. You know, we don't want to hear ourselves talking all the time. We like hearing from you. The topic is any and everything. Bring your topics to us, and we will discuss. Right, Mr. Bola?
Of course. Yeah, we just want to chit-chat. I mean, so much is happening. There are a lot of things that are not happening to it, because sometimes we talk about the happenings. There are those that are not happening, but it's simply up to, you to tell us what is it you're hearing, what it is you want to talk about. We're giving people a chance to speak. Just call, just tell us what you want to tell us. It's your opportunity, because we don't want to always be the ones telling you what should happen. But in the meantime, go back up on the dashboard for the region there, Ms. Duncan.
I will, but I want to, right before you start talking about that, because I know we end up talking about vaccination. But
nothing is wrong with talking about vaccination.
No, I know, but I want to
move away from it a little bit, but it's okay.
I want to speak about this, something that was told to me yesterday, something very sad. But we have a call coming in, so after the call, I'll tell you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Duncan, and good morning to Mr.
Good
Bola.
morning, Miss Cammy. How are you?
We're very well.
Mr. Bola, you all right?
I'm very good, thank God. Very well.
Well, Mr. Bola, what is in the air in Grenada now is the white man and the Prime Minister.
Right,
Mr.
yes.
Bola,
Yes.
I mean, if you living in England and you have England, you're a citizen of England, you are your citizenship, would you think you will go and tell the Queen or whoever, or the Prime Minister in England, in Parliament, that's what they does have?
Yes.
Tell them how to rule England?
No, you can't go in there to tell them.
You could do that, sir?
No.
So I don't understand. That man was very rude and disrespectful to want to tell the Prime Minister how to run Grenada.
His name is Newfield, Warren Newfield.
The people in Grenada that join in with other people and saying all kind of things. You understand? I don't understand these people. You cannot go in America and go and tell Mr. Biden how to roll it. You can't do that. You can't go and tell Miss Nancy, the speaker in the House in America, that. So I don't understand the hypocrisy with these people and them in this little country here.
Yes.
You don't like the Prime Minister, you don't like it, Michelle. They call him all name.
Yes.
All name. You have a man anyway, you call him a Moroccan. You don't hear nobody call and say, don't call him an Moroccan. Right? They call him a little ugly black man. The man is not a blue man, the man is a white man. So if the Prime Minister say he's white, a white man, what is the big deal?
Yeah.
Why is the big deal? You want to tell him how to run Grenada like his? He should be grateful. He should be grateful. They give him that big thing in Grenada, I'm talking about. And he's sticking to what he said. But mister, as much as you appreciate you and others, you have to have respect for this country here.
Definitely.
And you have to have respect for those in authority here. As much as you come out in South Africa, you come out way. You have to have respect for people here.
Yes.
But I understand the politics in Grenada with the haters.
Yes.
The haters and them. God in control. You have to have respect for the man. You have to respect what the man say. The man is the head of the country here. I don't understand all you. All you do is hypocrite. And I don't turn. Yeah.
Yeah, you there?
Hypocrite.
Yes.
I said that hypocrite people here in this country.
Yes.
But I want to tell them this morning. I have 5 children. 5. And if I can't walk again, I don't depend on none of them to give me nothing. Change is not what change.
Your children gonna give you something. Your children will make sure you eat and drink. Yes.
No, they won't leave me hungry. And I want them to know if I have to vote, I don't vote in for Antoine, how they call the big vice man, and those other people have a party. NNP, I know what I have, but I don't know what they're saying.
All right.
I don't hear none of them come and say what they're going to do better.
Yes.
That's what I want to hear.
Hear what will be done better.
And tell me what are they going to do better in Grenada for the people of this country. Then I'm going to listen to y'all.
Okay. Very well said.
Come and tell us what are they going to do better than it, Michelle. Tell me. Have a good day and have a good weekend, Grenada.
Thank you very much, Miss Cammy.
Mr. Watt. But everybody, have a good weekend.
You have a blessed one. God bless your soul.
Already, Mr. Bola.
Yes.
You know what I mean, people who want to come and buy, me buy. Who don't want to buy, they don't want to buy.
Yes.
I don't care. I don't even buy them. I just buy the grace of
God bless you. God bless you all the time.
Have a good day and a good weekend.
You as well, yeah? Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
That brings to mind the song, I don't live in my all you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, Miss Cammy just brought up a point there that, you know, we can all agree or disagree about what should be said and what shouldn't be said and how it should be said, the tone of voice, you know, the adjectives used and so. But it was our same people here who one time used to refer to Prime Minister Mitchell as the little black boy.
Yep.
So if he make mention of a white man, how come that is so painful
But also they were making mention of the fact that, oh, well, he degraded the House of Parliament by referring to the gentleman as a white man. And I in my mind, I'm wondering, our people need to become more au fait with the happenings of Parliament, not just here in Grenada, but around the world, Mr. Bola. And the behaviors and mannerisms of the people with it. We good here in Grenada, you know, disciplined and nice in Parliament here, you know. If you look at Parliament in other parts of the world, it's nothing in comparison to us here. We are nothing on them.
There's some Parliament
fight and thing, you know.
where man does get up and pay the chair, they're sitting on behind other people. You know, I've seen that live. Jumping all on top table and collar each other. I'm not saying that we have to follow.
Yes.
We have to follow what they do.
In St. Vincent just the other day, where the opposition leader had to be suspended from Parliament because of his behavior. I mean, and it's not a reason of justification for what has happened. But what I'm saying is, if that is the reasoning behind why you are indicating that the Prime Minister was wrong, then to me, it doesn't seem like a reason enough. You know, it doesn't seem valid enough. To me, it just seems like, as the opposition always does, wait for something for the Prime Minister to do and then jump on it. That classic behavior. That is all that they do. They wait for something to happen and then they jump on it.
Yeah, we need to set certain standards. I will agree with that 100%. But we cannot all the time be so double standard.
Yeah.
Because the very things we do, it's like most other things. You complain about foreign investors and the government giving them too much leeway, and so when the government decide, look, you have to walk that line, and if you're not, well, let's part of always you talk about the government being anti-investment. Yeah, I mean, you say government shouldn't reclaim the shares from WRB because government don't run private sector business well enough. Somebody suggests that the government should privatize the airport. Oh, you can't touch the airport, it should remain in government. Yeah. I mean, we have to decide, what do we want as a people? And because you decide what you want, there may be certain things you may say, okay, we don't go there, and these are the reasons why we don't go there.
And that's the point I was just about to make, Mr. Pola. The problem is not the decisions that government is making. That's not the problem. Because if you look at the behaviors of the opposition forces, they generalize everything. They make general statements. They do not know in truth and in fact, they have absolutely no idea what is really happening in the country. They just pick and point little issues and generalize it. So they cannot tell you, okay, well, we don't like this investment because this investment has XYZ factors that is incorrect. But they make the people people of Grenada or the people that support them, they want them to believe that investment in general is bad. You understand? When investment really is a wonderful thing for us here in the country. So they don't have any real issue. They don't have any real route that they want to take. They're just jumping from like toads. They're jumping from lily to lily to lily to lily to lily until they find their place. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, good morning.
Hello,
Mr.
good morning.
Duncan, good morning, Brother Bola.
Good morning to you,
And
sir.
I would like to say good morning to Sister Kami. Always positive.
Yes, man, she would hear you. She would hear you.
Always positive.
Yes.
But Mr. Bola,
Yes, sir.
well, Kami know that because me and Kami go back way back when.
Yes.
Revolution. And Mr. Bola, you know that too.
Yes.
In the revolution, how we call the Prime Minister of Barbados? Not a yard fall?
Yes.
Yep.
So why we accept all those things? And the same people and the younger generation, most of them is the parents. Why is you side with this shit? But no, we cannot say a white man is a white man. But we could call the own black a yard fall. During the revolution, we stand firm. And we call anybody how we want to call them. But this little man from Appeal of Britain cannot call nobody. Every time he do is a mistake.
Right.
Everything he says is negative. He is the leader of the country. And there are no foreigners coming and tell you how to run your country. We fight that for years. We fight it during Gary time, we fight it in the revolution, and we fighting it again. Because we is Grenadians. And we're always going to be Grenadians. So those who want to be American or want to be African, tell them, the boat is there, jump on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But we are Grenadians, and we are stubborn. Mr. Bola and Sister Duncan, don't you know my island left without a language?
Yeah.
The only island in the world that can tell you what has left without a language is Grenada, because we was too stubborn. Nobody could have pushed anything down with throat. Right? The Spaniard, the British, the French, none of them could have conquered us. None of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because we was not easy.
We had a good
Go back
fighting spirit.
and read the history.
Always have a
Go back
fighting
and read the
spirit.
history.
We always have a
We
fighting
have a
spirit.
fight spirit.
Yeah.
We was in revolution, they had different name fight at the time. But go back when you're going to see this island they call Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
Go and learn something about Grenada. Tell them to learn something that they could educate the young ones. Instead of just running their mouth and getting on like if the balance of people in Grenada is a pile of dunce. You know? We not dunce people. We not dunce people. We had the first revolution in the English-speaking Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
We stand firm then, and we still standing firm today. So those who want to be betrayers and pretend that, you know, there was no part of nothing, and talking, you know, like they love the white man so much. You know? They love him so much. But in the revolution, as a young man, they were teaching me something else.
Yes.
They were teaching all of us something else.
Yeah.
But you see, you hate what you like, eh? You hate what you like. But you understand. But leave the man alone.
Yes, man. Leave the man alone.
And God is good.
All
and
the
God
time,
is good all the time.
All the
and
time.
take care.
Take care
All
of
the
yourself.
time.
Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah. And say hi to Nazim for me.
All right.
All right.
Great.
We have another caller on the line, Mr. Bola. Hello,
Yeah.
good morning.
Oh, you lost them, boy. You waited a little too long.
Just a yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it back. We have
we gonna get
we have a call, but we also have some comments on the live. So let's take the call quickly. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm live on.
Yes, you are live on Hard Talk.
I want to make a clarion call
All right.
to the people out there
Mm-hmm.
to go get registered, to go collect the ID card.
Okay.
Because I've been to one of the parliamentary election office a while ago, in Patrick, and there is tons of cards just sitting there ready for people, and they're not going out for the card.
Oh.
Cards from since last year, February. when they
Right.
started. So people need to go and collect the ID card.
Right.
So I wonder how they go about doing businesses and transaction in MoneyGram. What form of ID they using then?
Well, they have several different ones that have been accepted. The driver's license is accepted,
The
NS card
cards.
is accepted, your passport could be accepted. So maybe it's not a vital thing for some of them at this time, but it is necessary to have. So I agree with you, and we'll help you make that call as regular as we can to let people remember that
Yeah, in St. Patrick,
they can go.
parliamentary office in Suffolk.
Yeah.
Tons of cards is sitting there and no one going out to get a card.
Yeah, they must go to
So I
collect
need you
the
all to
cards.
inform and educate the public on getting registered,
Yes,
having the identity card, which
yes,
is very important for the democracy and the election
yes,
coming.
yes.
Thank you.
We'll so do. Thank you too for making that point, and take good care.
Yeah, you need to address it more often.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, good.
We have two comments coming in on the live video. One is saying, good morning to you both. I'm a regular listener when not at work. Something that bothers me is the way people use our emergency department, especially at Princess Alice Hospital. Persons come in for very simple things that should be treated at a clinical level and grumbles when they have to wait. They come first and things like grumbles when they have to wait that they come first and things like that. Advise them to use the clinic for non-emergency situations. And I think that is definitely a point to note, because I have heard health officials indicating that things that require suturing or minor medical things can be dealt with at the clinic, that we should use the clinic and not overload our emergency rooms with these things.
Well, first and foremost, I think we need to get
Someone, yes, and to
to
speak what those,
explain what a medical emergency really is. Because in the minds of some people, I get a little caught, and that's an emergency.
An emergency.
Let me head the emergency. Yeah,
I mean, it's an emergency, but at what level?
Yes.
Yes.
So we need to have one of the medical experts explain to people what warrants you going to the emergency department. Is it life-threatening? Is it something that a regular doctor can look at? Is it something that the nurse at the health center can easily take care of? Because in the minds of some of us, the best place to go is to the hospital.
To the hospital.
Yeah. So while I can understand fully well what that individual is talking about, because you clog up the whole emergency thing, and then when you have a real emergency now, they would have to take them first, even though you were there before, because what you have is not life-threatening, so to speak. And so people grumble, they get vexed. I've been here, they're behaving as though I'm not a human being too. They're moving on friendship and partisan. And, I was here an hour waiting, and this man just arrived, and they take him in. And, you get those kind of things. But if we get a better understanding of what is an emergency and how to deal with it, and, outpatient clinic and what have you. So, yes, caller, we get you, but sometimes I don't know if it is not caller, but the person who posted it, and I agree that it's something that needs to be dealt with. Talked about people need to be educated, but sometimes some of the people who do it is because they just don't know better.
They don't know better.
Yeah.
We have another comment. People can say what they want. When they want, they disrespect whoever. But the minute the Prime Minister opens his mouth, he is wrong. I think some of them, should give themselves up for advisors. Another comment reads, "Good day. Hope all is well. I am very happy with this conversation taking place in regards to the comments made by the Prime Minister. In my opinion, the Prime Minister makes very good points and was justified in the decision that government made. However, this could be made without drawing reference to someone's color or race, especially now that Grenadians abroad face so much problem because of their race. It is embarrassing listening these racist comments on radio. There are good and bad in every race. There are white people that are very good and black people that are very bad. and vice versa. We as Grenadians have to learn how to express ourselves and our point without attacking someone's personality. Very good point.
Very well said too. And in the beginning I said, whatever is done, some may like it, some may dislike it, some may agree, some may disagree.
Yeah.
But we have to set certain standards and we have to live by them and work with them.
Yeah. And on both sides. I mean, it's
sides,
for me, it's really the hypocrisy. That's what it is for me. It's the hypocrisy of allowing and having people calling the Prime Minister himself. And I want to just speak about that particular, because we call each other all kinds of names all the time, but we're speaking in context of the Prime Minister, having him called all sorts of names, you know, publicly or otherwise. They call him a dictator, they call him a little black man, they call him a little black boy, they call him all sorts of names. They have meted out to him, you know, and the one and what all the man says a white man, but that is what the man is. His ethnicity is a white man.
No, what they refer to these people not as Caucasians.
Caucasians,
right? I think that's a better description. No, listen, I don't want to get you on the wrong side, and I don't want to misinterpret what you're saying. Now, I do agree that people do refer to our Prime Minister in a lot of derogatory names.
Yes.
But that should not be the basis for our Prime Minister to in any way disrespect any other person of any other race. I just want to make that absolutely clear.
And I definitely agree with that. But as I am saying, it is a hypocrisy for me. The same persons that are speaking about his statements are the same persons who have been caught before calling him these kinds of names. And that's what I'm saying. It's the hypocrisy for me. You know, I can understand if an individual that is bipartisan is saying, you know what, I don't agree that the Prime Minister should have brought up the man's ethnicity in his statements and yada yada yada, then that's fine. But when you have people going on making a whole live video just for that, and these are the same individuals that are running their mouths and bringing him down and calling him all sorts of names and calling other people all sorts of names, then really you don't have a leg to stand on to begin with. You know, and that's what I'm saying.
There are people who I see stand for hours on their hands, you know. So not having a leg to stand on is not too much a problem for some people. But, you know, as I've said before, we need to have standards and stick to them. Yeah. What are our standards? What is it we are allowed to do and to say, you know? And the tit for tat kind of things don't really work.
Yeah.
When an issue arises, we deal with it in a mature and adult way. We give the information, the relevancy for what has happened, and we move on. We move on from there.
Move on. Yeah. We have 2 calls coming in.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Miss Duncan.
Hi, Miss Cammy.
They call him Kitty Boy. No respect for the office he holds in Grenada. They call him a Morocco. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and it's the same people. The same people that call him all his names. They're in Grenada running them out.
Yeah.
After that, he go down with the people.
Yeah.
No respect.
Yeah.
For the Prime Minister of this country. All kind of names. I don't understand my people. I don't understand. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? All his names. They call him a dictator. They call him all old thief.
Yeah.
All kind of things. You understand? All the people not nice people in this country, and they say them is a Christian nation. They're going to church Sunday. They're going to church Sunday and call on Papa God. They're on the radio preaching on a morning. And they call him after sort of bad-minded people. Not all the people in Grenada, you know. Some. Them bad-minded sort of people.
Yeah.
I'm not a hypocrite. When they see the Prime Minister now, they're grinning and laughing. Mr. Prime Minister, you have to be very careful with some of them. You have to be very careful with some of them, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Miss Cammy. All right. All right, we have another caller. Hello, good morning. Good morning, caller. Hello, caller, good morning. I think we lost that call. Hopefully we get it back. Oh, there we go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Duncan and Brother Bowler.
Good morning. Mr. Bowler stepped out of the studio for a moment.
Okay, I just want to make one point.
Yes, go right
I
ahead.
wasn't expecting people that they're accusing the Prime Minister of mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
And you said they're hypocrites who are saying that. And I'm giving you facts. When that man was appointed, a whole bunch of NBC people told me to my face, calling the man all kind of name, how the Prime Minister could get a man like him and appoint him. He's a white man, came from South Africa, all this kinds of stuff. And I could call a lot of the names, but I wouldn't call the names. They're a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah.
A bunch of NBC hypocrites. A lot of them know me, and I know them too. They know they told me. They know they cussed that man down, and they cussed the Prime Minister for having the man being appointed. And they said a lot of bad things about the man. And now they're so hypocritical. Well, they be hypocrites all the time, acting as though they're so nice, and they love the man. The man knew what they were saying about him. The man knew.
Yeah.
I know. I was there when the man was appointed.
Yeah.
I was there in the ceremony. I was there in the diaspora group when the man met with us. And a lot of them in the room, those NDCs, they were saying a lot of nasty things about the man. Have a blessed day.
You as well. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's definitely the hypocrisy for me. I cannot take the utterings of some people seriously, because they do on one side the same thing that they condemn on the other side. You know, it's difficult to take them seriously. But the time is running out on us, guys. We can take a few more calls. The number to call is 440-7377. If you are calling locally, if you are in the diaspora and you want to give us a call, it's 347-329-3101. We want to continue to encourage the general public to get vaccinated. Don't know how much more we could stress that. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. No, it seems we lost the call. So caller, try again. Yep, we want to encourage you to get vaccinated as much as is possible that can go out and do so. Please do so. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Duncan.
Hi, good morning.
Bola. I don't know if he come back in the room yet.
No, he's not in the room yet.
All right. You know, sometimes we have to be careful with our English. Because everybody's saying the Prime Minister called the man a white man. The Prime Minister did not call the man a white man. The Prime Minister said, can you imagine a white man calling for regime change? But he did not call a man a white man.
Ah.
And if the man takes the Prime Minister to court, he's going to lose because the Prime Minister did not call him a white man.
That is a very good perspective.
Everybody's saying the Prime Minister called the man a white man, but he did not. He said, can you imagine a white man? And that could be any white man. You know, so sometimes we have to be careful what we hear.
Yeah. That is
or how we understand what we hear.
That's a very different perspective. I don't think anyone has really looked at it in that way.
Because they're not thinking. They just want to come down on the Prime Minister. Because you see, what happened is a lot of them thought that the Prime Minister was in bed with these people.
Right.
But now that he could stand up against them, and they realize that he's not in bed with them, they are disappointed.
Right.
So they could come now and say this and they say that.
Right.
But if the guy had something on the Prime Minister, it would have been a different case. Everybody would have, you see, we were saying how the Prime Minister is corrupt and look at this and look at that.
Yes.
You understand? But there is nothing. So the Prime Minister could stand up for Grenada. So they are disappointed. So they could say what they want. But I want to say hats off to you, Dr. Mitchell. Hats off. Enjoy the rest of you all day. Ms. Duncan, have a good weekend.
All right. Thank you. Yep, and Mr. Bola, you weren't here to hear this, but the caller brought up a very interesting perspective. She indicated that the Prime Minister didn't call the man a white man. He said, can you imagine a white man asking for reaching changes?
Okay.
Those were his words. So her perspective or her point of view and looking at it is that it could be any white man, or white in general that he was speaking about, or a particular group that he was speaking about. But, you know, we all look at things in the way that we want it to feed what we believe and what we think about. We have another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good morning.
How
It's
you
still
do?
morning. We're okay. Very well. Thanks.
Mr. Bola,
Good morning to you.
how are you doing?
I am well, thank you.
Well, I sit down here listening to your program,
Very well.
and it's very interesting.
Well, thank you for that.
Calling to congratulate my new cat, Mr. Victor Philip, better known as Bello,
Yes.
from St. in St. Patrick's.
Yes.
This man will be our caretaker and next, our candidate.
Candidate, okay.
And
Okay.
he's very loving and hardworking.
Good to hear.
And we'll join together hearts and hearts as NNP
Yes.
and work together to bring victory again once we're in St. Patrick West.
West, okay.
And I think the people of St. Patrick West made a good choice
Okay.
because Mr. Boston doesn't make bad choices because he's a nice man.
Oh, Mr. Boston is a nice man too. Okay.
He's a very nice man, and he likes working with nice people.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear
And I
you.
know he will definitely stand together with Mr. Philip
Yes.
and do the utmost best for us take our win.
Yes.
Which all of us have to put our hearts together
Yes.
because we need goodness in St. Patrick West.
Okay.
And with the way Mr. Bolson left, we have to pick up from there.
Okay. And
We know
continue
around
the work.
Times is very hard and things tight,
Yes.
but we don't watch that. We
Yes.
just have to put down the work on the ground and bring the victory.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is what we want to see in St. Patrick West, and I ask calling on all NNP. And who is not NNP, asking them to come into the NNP and support Mr. Victor Philip from Success, better known as Bello, because he's a good and loving chap. He's very loving, and I could know that. And I know he will work very hard to bring that work and that victory come to St. Patrick West. I'm calling on all NLP, leave all the stories behind and come in front and work together with peace and love and unity to bring that victory.
I hear you. I like that. Leave all the stories. Leave all the troubles behind. We ain't
Leave all
time
the
for that.
troubles behind. And
Yeah.
victory come. It's victory we want because we have the little children to see that they grow up nice and lovely.
Right. We have to leave something good in
And we
place for
have,
them.
right, so this is what we want and asking all NNP in St. Patrick West. From the 14 years, around the time to grown them, and when the 18 years is supposed to be voting, so we all will be there together with them, hearts and hearts, and see them that they register to make them vote come next election, 2023.
Yes.
All right.
So I wish you a nice and loving day, and I am enjoying your program. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all of that, and we do wish you the best for today and for the weekend as well. That was a lively one.
That was a lively one. We have another one coming in. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bills.
Mr. Bola, listen me.
Yes, sir.
You see how some people like you call us like confusion? When they used to call we own Judge Rizan, Granada Monkey.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Nobody didn't say nothing, eh?
Yes.
No, this thing they put in a little help behind that. But so we going there and there, man.
So we there?
So we did.
And we
But
don't worry
not
with
so we should stay though.
I know we should not you're right what you say.
that. Yeah.
If it's so we did, not so we should stay.
If I could have get a tractor and move, we are moving away now.
Yeah. Mr. Mills, you too bad with yourself. Behave yourself.
But Mr. Mills, with that tractor, where you going? Where you moving to go with that tractor?
He moving or he moving you come with him?
Oh, you moving me to come with you? Mr. Mills?
Well,
Like Mr. Mills gone already. Mr. Mills say what he had to say and he going.
I like that. Don't waste no time.
Yeah, I hear the statement "so we day" very often.
Yeah.
But if it's so we day, not so we should stay. There are a lot of things that need changing.
Yeah, well, time changes, and so we should change too and be able to do things differently. And
I know we focus a lot on the politics, Mr. Bola, in terms of, we feel like we need a change of government or we need a change of leadership. But I think we need to start focusing on ourselves, because there are a lot of internal change that needs to happen with each and every individual one of us. Before we could call for change in a lot of things, a lot of us have to change as well. You know, a lot of change in attitude, a lot of change in behavior, a lot of change in the way we think and speak to and about people has to change also.
Yep.
So we had to want change all around for things to change. You can't just want to change things that suit, your narrative. Or you want people to change to suit your narrative and you're not willing to change anything about yourself. It's really not a fair thing to do. But, like I say, it's the hypocrisy for me. It is the hypocrisy for me. It's the downright sitting there waiting for something to go wrong so you can say something, and not being a part of the change you want to see, or making an active decision to work with the people of the country to see. You don't have to be in the seat of leadership to enact change, or to start something, to create a movement. You don't have to be in the seat of, as we refer to it, power, although we say power is given to the people.
The people
have the power, but you don't have to be in leadership. And a democracy clearly shows you that. Democracy shows you that all of the power is given to the people. We put leaders in place. And that's why we have elections on all levels, whether it's in our unions, whether it's in our small committees, whether it's in ministers of government, parliamentary representatives, whatever it is. We have elections. We give our memberships and our people the power to choose whom they would like to lead them. We make that decision, So at the end of the day, we the people have the power. So we are the ones that should start enacting change, We are the ones that should start looking at things internally and saying, you know what? Maybe if I change or take a different approach to this, it may not make the biggest difference, but it will make a difference. And if everybody strives to make a difference, then that's where the big difference can come in.
Yep.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I agree with you 100%. The man in the mirror.
Yeah.
The man in the mirror. And that's where we all have to start.
Yeah.
So, whatever you say, I ain't disagreeing with you, But I don't like your way of trying to force it down my throat. Bola now, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to enjoy my weekend. I'm always listening to your conversation, your topic, and whatnot, etc. Could you expound for me a little bit on the section 13 of the Grenada Constitution?
Section 13.
Thing I would like to hear from you a little bit is on.
Well, we have to pull it up.
Is because it's not yet finished. The month of the disabled. And I'm not hearing anything much from your station or the station that you are on the disabled. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I would hope that I would have hoped that he would recite what
Section 13, because Section 13, just pull it up. Let's just take a quick look, because Section 13 could be, there are many subsections. He didn't say what in particular he wants to say, but so just broadly, let's see Section 13.
Section 13 of which chapter?
Sorry,
which chapter?
I don't know.
He has to be just a little bit more specific. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to just pull up Section 13 like that, because I'm not even sure what he's referring to.
Okay. So, caller, if you're hearing us, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for. We're trying to pull up the Constitution and the system here, but it's there by chapters.
Yeah, it would be in chapter 1, because I think chapter 1 is sections 1 to 18.
Well, see if you can get...
So we're looking for section 13, which would most likely be in... I think we are wasting time, Mr. Bola, because we wouldn't know exactly what.
No, but at least if I see section 13, I can.
And section 13 would be Article 13. Well, I'm hoping. I'm just going based on my knowledge here that speaks to.
Article 13 speaks to what?
Subject to provisions of subsection expression discriminatory means affording different treatment to different persons' attributes, wholly, mainly to their respective descriptions of race, place, origin, political opinions, color, creed, and then there are. Mr. Bola, I don't know what we're looking for or what his...
Well, I would have to make a study, do a read of section 13 because...
To really understand.
Yeah. I would only presume that since section 13 is speaking about race and color, I will only presume
that he's speaking about the Prime Minister's
utterances and he's probably making reference to section 13 of the Constitution. But it's difficult to say exactly what he wants to pinpoint and what is my view on it. So let me get a chance over the weekend to read.
But also, I wasn't aware that it was the month of the disabled. I know I heard it this morning on another program, but there wasn't really any...
Yeah, but normally social development and these people are the ones who plan and promote those things. And having our program, we don't just talk. We talk things sometimes that are at the forefront, and I do agree that sometimes we need to look at many other things. But since no one ever came forward, we were not asked to bring any particular program, speech or anything. There was no highlight. Right. That just went through. And that is unfortunate. So I just want the caller to know it's not every single thing you would hear on this program. This is a 2-hour program per day, and in the recent weeks, and so we have been really emphasizing the issue of vaccination and protection of our people COVID-19, and we felt today that it's not like we have done enough. We have to continue because there's still so many people. If we are to reach herd immunity and we are to get our country at the stage where we can get back to some semblance of normalcy, bringing back tourism to what it was before, even better, getting people back on the jobs, the hotels opening up again, the taxi drivers, the vendors, the farmers to benefit as they used to at one time. Right. We really need to have a lot more people getting vaccinated in order for that to take place. So vaccination and the issue of getting vaccinated and spreading the information will not be something that we'd see an end to in the near future, save and except most of the adult population in Grenada decides, you know what, let's just go and get vaccinated so we can reach the numbers that makes us secure, and then we can simply be saying thanks rather than encouraging more and more people to go. So that we will continue. But we felt today we just wanted people to get an opportunity.
Next week is a short week. Next week we have...
I think next Thursday.
Thursday is a holiday, Corpus Christi. Wednesday we have sitting of the Senate.
Yeah.
So we have a short program week next week. So we'll try to cover as many things as
Tuesday
is
most
possible.
likely is post-cab.
Tuesday is most likely post-cab. So we'll try to cover as many things as possible. But we are out of time for the people who have been trying to call and continue calling. We have 2 calls coming in, but unfortunately we are out of time, so we are unable to take those. Mr. Bola? Closing words.
Well, I just want to thank again, as per usual, all of the people who participated. We are sorry for those who were unable to get their calls in. We are out of time. We can't take any more. Those who got in, we respect your views. As we oftentimes say here, whether you agree or disagree with us, what we say, we have no difficulty with that. It is a program where you can express yourself and give your views. We want to remind people that we're still very, very much in a COVID situation. There may not be any positive cases cases on island at the moment, but every island or most of the islands around us, we can see what is happening. We know it doesn't take much, it doesn't take long. It takes just one individual that is able to enter the country with any other way except the normal ports of entry where they can be checked and tested, and if that person is contaminated, that's all it takes to create a spread, community spread, and before you know it, 60-70% of our population could be down. We in a position to deal with it health-wise. I'm talking now about the health sector. I rather don't. So we always say to you, be careful, follow the protocols. It's a long weekend. It's a weekend, not necessarily long. It's also month end, and I know sometimes around those times when there's a little extra dollar around, there's a little bit more consumption of alcohol. Let's just be careful. Let's just be conscious. Let's just realize that life is not just only for today, and there's a lot more that we have to look forward to, especially for those parents who have children that have sat the CPEA, which was yesterday and completing today. It is time, if you have not started. As a matter of fact, you should have started already. But if you have not, let us use the little extra. Buy 2 beers less, 2 Guinness less, $20. Put it aside, because sooner than later, you would have to be spending money on getting uniform, getting shoes, getting bag, getting books, paying all sort of fees, entrance fees and what have you for secondary school, bus fare for your child. So that's an expense that we should have been preparing for, but some of us sometimes wait until the last moment. Better late than never. Be conscious, be responsible, remember the things you have to do, and try to stay safe, not just for you, but also for your family and for Grenada as a whole. Do enjoy the rest of today, Friday, and have a blessed, peaceful, and wonderful weekend.
All right, guys, and we have come to the end of our program for today. As we say here every day, in whatever you say and whatever you do, be safe and be secure. We always want to be talking with you, but we do not ever want to be talking about you. So please do enjoy the remainder of your day and stay tuned for the national report. It has been a pleasure, guys.
Students return to the examination halls for the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, CPEA, following a break in 2020. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Thursday, May 27th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Following 2020, which was a year of anomalies, including the absence of a CPEA exam, students returned to the exam halls across the nation this year to sit the 2021 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment. We get more in this Annette Moore report.
Principal of the St. Andrews RC School, Barbara Simmons, says the school's level of preparation in 2020 allowed for a smooth process. This resulted in the school being even more proactive in 2021 by further accelerating their CPA preparation. She says grades 5 and 6 were the only 2 grades to initially return to school as normal from the start of the new school year.
The preparation started even earlier because we realized nobody could predict what happened next. So we tried to fast track everything and, get them into the mode of being in a state of constant practice and readiness and preparation.
Simmons says the exams got off to an excellent start this morning.
Everything got off to a great start. We met at 8. We took them to the church where they were able to calm down and prepare mentally. They prayed and were quite ready to go upstairs to get ready to sit the exams.
She explained how the adjustments for the COVID-19 situation are working out.
The seating arrangements would have been the same as previous years. They have their masks. I hope maybe from time to time they will get a mask break as we usually give them. But I think by now they're used to the mask, wearing it and taking their breaks. They would be fine.
Simmons expects the students to perform as well as they have in the recent past.
We expect quite a few of them to perhaps get their first choice in secondary school, to be in the first 200, and we expect the rest to, get a place too. So we're just, wishing them all the best at this point, and just hope that they have a great day today and tomorrow.
Principal of the St. Andrew's Methodist School, Kenson Batiste, says both teachers and students welcome the return to the normal CPA sitting. He explained that the team at the school ensured that students who were adversely affected by social situations due to the pandemic were supported throughout the school year to ensure that they continued to do well.
Teachers and students last year were very disappointed that there was no final exam, so they were very happy that we were able to get back to school as normal. There were a number of changes we had to implement. For example, extra classes at the grade 6 level to try to make up for some of the lost time at the grade 5 level. The teachers put out a lot extra. The students had some challenges at their homes, and we tried to help them as best as possible through that tough period with whatever challenges they were having. There were some more use of devices, for example, using Zoom for teaching, trying to incorporate technology into the classroom a lot more, as that is the way that the world is going right now.
He anticipates a positive outcome. He also noted one change in the question structure this year.
With the exam this year, the students have 3 options for each multiple choice question instead of 4.
He is pleased with the smooth flow of events for today's exams.
They were all here this morning on time, and they seem to be in very good spirits. Reverend Prescott came in yesterday, our school manager, and prayed with us, and we had all of them together yesterday morning for the assembly. And this morning they seem to be relaxed and ready for the exam. There were 1 or 2 parents around as well, supporting not only their children but others as well. I think that the teachers did a very good job. The parents supported, and the children tried very well, so we await the results.
Deputy Chief Education Officer with responsibility for exams, Michelle Peters-George, says the first day of the CPA sit-in went as well as expected.
For the examination today, we had mathematics and social studies, and I think it went well generally. Most centers started on time, 1 or 2 hiccups as usual, because you may have 1 or 2 emergencies that may occur. But generally, I think the administration of the CPA for the day 1 went very well. I must commend persons who assisted in that regard.
One major change this year is that only the top 200 and not the top 300 students will get the option of entering one of their preferred schools.
While we anticipate that it will alleviate the issue that we had in terms of crowding one particular school with all students from the top barrel of the CPA performance, now we can say that, of course, parents may have a little challenge with it because their students may not be in that top 200, that is critical now as compared to last year. But I must let you know that with the zoning criteria that is thereafter, it is, I think, really good for our country because you're developing the entire country basically when you look at it like that. You ensure that all schools throughout the island, really there is that sort of equity.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
Thank you, Annette. A recent collaborative initiative between the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Tourism and Climate Resilience, the Ministry of Forestry and the National Water and Sewage Authority, NWASA, and other stakeholders has resulted in the clearing of reeds from the Grenada Lake, one of Grenada's main tourism attraction sites and water source. On Thursday, Minister for Tourism, Civil Aviation, Climate Resilience and the Environment, Honorable Dr. Clarence Modest Kerwin, visited the site and spoke to the importance of maintenance of the lake. The reeds have been obstructing the view and hiding the beauty of the lake.
So we have been able to free up quite a bit of it, not as much as we would have liked to. What the workers have reported to us is that the size of the equipment, it cannot do all of the heavy work that is required. But I'm pleased to see that a start has been made, and having had that initial bit of work done, now we could look to see what more can we do, like getting heavy equipment, getting the expertise again, and so that on a regular basis now we can come up with a maintenance plan to keep as much reeds out of the Grenada Lake as possible.
Dr. Modest Kerwin says it has been relatively quiet since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and so the opportunity was used to conduct maintenance work ahead of a further opening up of the economy.
Visitors are allowed, local and foreign, and as we prepare for the wider opening in terms of the wider influx of visitors to our shores, we know that this, just look around at the beauty of this place. It is one of the places, other countries have lakes that are far larger than ours, but the whole environment and the ambience here, I'm coming down and I'm watching the flowers along, and they've been nicely manicured recently, and I'm looking around, and I think this is indeed one of the most beautiful places in the world.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53-VIRUS. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for St. George Northwest, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, is confident that if properly managed, the marine protected area in Molineux-Bouchejou can be successful. MPAs are designated under the Fisheries Act number 15 of 1986. They are intended to ensure the protection of assigned areas and the sustainable use of the resources therein as part of a wider effort to maintain biodiversity and ecosystem services that can benefit the local community and, by extension, the country. The Molineux-Bouchejou MPA, one of 4 in Grenada, has been inactive for some time, and the Ministry of Fisheries has now put plans in place to reactivate it. Key to the success of the MPA is its management, and the ministry is already looking seriously at this.
This thing will work, and the MPA would meet its objectives, and the area will be extremely proud and happy to have an effective MPA here, and the country will benefit. If there is a serious management restructuring, as Byron indicated, is working with the government and management team. So that structure, the management team must be known, and the personnel must be known. And we at the community level will provide the element of serious people who, if they are listened to, not people coming and hand down stuff, but listen to, we'll have an effective MPA and operation.
The Prime Minister cited past challenges which have prevented the MPA from achieving its full potential.
Put the past behind us because we have an opportunity to put something. This thing is so important. Some booths. There will be vendors booth in Beauchejou for tourism drops, and they'll put some booths down in Dragon Bay together with a jetty. It's a major project, and including a complete overhaul of the Beauchejou sporting facility and so on. It's a major project funded by the Chinese government. Up to today, the ambassador was with me. So if we put that thing right, this will become one of the best projects in this country. The MPA would be seen as a proud entity. The negative right now will disappear. That's why I suggest we do.
Marine patrols in the MPA are expected to resume soon. A company has been contracted to manage the mooring system, and there will be a number of landside and water-based initiatives to enhance the area and protect the marine assets. That story just ended the national report for today, Thursday, May 27th, recapping the top story. Students return to the examination halls for the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, CPEA, following a break in 2020. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.